some of the things that came up in a couple of it's like a fillers questions people don't ask, just the 5 this time. Do people ask Jehovah's Witness, have they witnessed Jehovah? If the Lord can cause plagues and Moses can make the sky go dark for 3 days, then clearly they can do bad things, but why haven't they done any good things? And like I said on Tuesday, if the Jews are the chosen ones, why didn't Yahweh save them in World War II? The Lord of Israel, the God of Israel. One topic that came up again this week is we are in a simulation. So we're going to dig into that a little bit. And the simulation is a bit like the Russian dolls again for me. We are the one doll, but we created all the dolls inside with programs external and internal. Except, in fact, all are internal, because we allowed them to take hold on us. Clowns and their systems, programs and projects can do what they like, but we have forgotten we have our own sovereignty to uphold. So why do we accept their programs? Did we evaluate it and come to a balanced choice to make? No, we just rolled over and accepted it on many levels. We became complacent and accepting that others will look after us. I'm talking as a collective now. Again, that's not being sovereign. You know, Kim can declare the world sovereign overnight, but it won't change a damn thing. Why? Because the people haven't changed is the simple answer. And sovereignty with no understanding or comprehension of what it means is just another lazy-ass saver program. We don't need it. As a society, you know, we're always creating labels to define ourselves when your very presence is defining. It's not some bloody title or label. So if people believe that they are in a simulation, then in essence they are. Because as creators, we create. If you create it, it manifests as your reality. Me personally, I don't believe it. And so it's not part of my reality, and subsequently, I'm not in a simulation. We had a situation a long time in the past, and I mean a long time, and some still believe it now, where all of humanity were put in pods, like sleeping pods. Like I said, some still believe we are still in them now, which is why so many are like zombies. Now, I have seen the pods, so they do exist. I got in one and stepped out of it to experience what it's all about, but I made the choice not to partake in that amnesic state. It's like the lie. If you repeat it often enough, it becomes the truth for many. So if you manifested the illusion that the lie is the truth, you can also manifest the truth from the lies, can you not? We've all had a family member that always focuses on themselves being sick. And what happens? They're always sick. Or some people say they're just unlucky. Or have they manifested their own sickness to play the victim game? That's a question, not a statement. Other people state, I have no luck, me, and so they get none. And these are examples of how we all manifest our own reality and yet don't sit down with themselves and analyse what they're thinking or what they're saying. And it's a big problem humanity faces going forward. all that energy creating boxes and lies and illness and bad luck and simulations and all that stuff, it can all be switched into being ourselves in truth, in health and luck, with a simple change of your own thought process and also mindset. Now, as far as the simulation goes, it's your choice to believe that you are in one. I choose not to be, which is why I travel far. If I was in a simulation, that wouldn't take place. Now, here is a situation which I've explained before, but it fits into this, of an illusion of minor holographic nature of things here. And a copy of this is in the THI Facebook files. I have covered it before, but it fits into this and why. And it's all done, the holographic nature, or the perception of it, with frequencies. And you can do it yourself. You draw a wave line on a piece of paper from left to right, starting from the bottom and curving up. That's your first line. Now at the top of the up curve, you start equal from the bottom to the top, and you do a wave that curves down and then intersects with the other one. One wave is organic and one is inorganic, and an overlay. Now, what happens if you frequently overlay a picture? It becomes holographic in nature. That's all it is. The organic wave that kept intersecting. Now, if you turn that piece of paper 90 degrees, and what you'll see is a series of figure eights. That is the Mobius loop that we've been trapped in for 6 periods of 13,000 years, for a total of 78,000 years. Now, at the middle of the 8th figure is where we escape this frequency, ascend, if you like. Technically, we're not going anywhere, but there is an escape, and it has an east and west gate, which I explained in a show in February of 2018 in more detail. For those of you who remember, it was the we're all gonna die piece. It's kind of spooked people out for a bit until I laughed. So perhaps you can check that out. I've got one last piece. We're going to have a music break because I've got a bit of a tickly throat tonight. And then we're going to go into the final piece, which will be interesting. It's how you develop on a higher level. Until then, nothing else matters.